Hello, friends. Do you have shark windows? The ones that scare you, that go bump in the night? Yeah, that's a pretty stupid intro. Anyways, shark fin, common problem on these Impallas, Caprices, B-bodies, Fleetwoods. We're going to fix that today. Okay, so if you guys don't know what the shark fin is, basically it's the window regulator track, has little slides in it, and they're meant to break in half. You know, little kids will stick their arms in there and the window gets rolled up. It's meant to break that clip and not break the kid's arm. Unfortunately, you know, the plastic from GM from the 90s tends to get really fragile and brittle. And over time, you get breakage on one or both. And it's called a shark fin, because it looks like a shark fin because your windows are like beep. Both my back windows have it. Driver's side has it. Passenger side, surprisingly, is fine. I'm pretty sure I fixed it at one point in time. I don't recall. It's been a while. I've had this car for like 10 years now. So, a couple different options. Not the ideal option that I wanted to go with, but this was all that I could find at the time. And it's almost an exact replica slide regulator guide off Amazon. There's the part number. They're a little bit beefier. I don't know, we'll get in there and I'll show you what they look like, but you'll need this. This actually only comes with 6, so it's only enough to fix 3 doors because you need 2 per side. I think they believe that you just need 1, and that's why they give you 6 just in case. But yeah, that's what they look like. So the life of me, I can't find the other ones that I had. Whatever. They're an AC Delco part, and they're like a round, almost like a button that actually has a hole in it. It's basically just like a button with a, you just pop it in the track and then take a C-clip and clip it in there. Those are more of a permanent fix that I've always used, and that was AC Delco's replacement for these for years. Unfortunately, I can't find them. They must be a discontinued part. I ordered them up years ago. Like I mentioned, they're somewhere in my pile of junk. I moved a couple times, and I don't know, stuff happens. So these are a couple bucks. I don't know. We'll try them out and see. I'm not going to do all 4 or 3, however many I got. I'm just going to focus on the back door. Probably make another video doing the driver's side at some point. I want to clean up some stuff. I'm waiting on actually some more clips that I got for that as well, that are still on order. But I will get you in here and we'll start on this thing. Let's go. So I always like to start with WD-40. And these screws, they get chutted up, crudded up with crap. And I just put a little drop on them. Don't be worried about it getting on your precious Impala leather and all that stuff. It'll wipe off. Actually, you can use it to shine up stuff, but I always put that on there and let that soak for a hot minute. Any screws you're going to take off, this takes, you know, it gets it so you can get the Phillips in there and it doesn't strip it out. Especially on those ones down there, older vehicles, everything. So get that in there. Any other ones you might want to. The one that's back behind here, you don't have to worry about it so much. Sometimes you got to worry about these ones, but usually not. Mainly it's just these ones because they sit the way they do and junk gets in there. So I'm gonna let this sit for a minute and we'll be back. So the tools you're gonna need for this job, of course, WD-40, you saw what we just used that on. Clip tools. Got this fancy Mac tool one that get in there and pop clips off, or you can get a cheap Harbor Freight one. I actually have had this for a long time and it works better than that one. You're going to want a couple drill bits, a couple different sizes. I don't know, whatever the hell size those are. Small enough to drill out a rivet head. You're going to want a C-clamp, course, your slides, some kind of a Phillips screwdriver. I like to use this because it's my drill as well. And then, of course, a riveter, or you want to use some kind of a self-tapper. And we'll get into that, but those are the tools that you need. Oh, and some kind of a grease for the track. This stuff is some super white grease, multi-purpose stuff. It was on closeout from O'Reilly's, so bought a bunch of it. So those are the tools you're going to need. It's not complicated. It's actually pretty simple. So let's get into it. I always like to try and start with my ones that we soaked with W40. Get those out. Get the armrest off. Pull the screws all the way out. Get a pile where you're gonna remember where your stuff is, right there on the floor works. And that just pulls right off. It's got a couple tab clips on it, and then this one clip up here that goes in this hole here. So GM plastic, it's old, be careful. You know, I start with those two. Next I move on to the ones here and the door handle. Pull it off. Pull this side off. These ones are key. These ones are long, and they are the ones that basically hold all the pressure from the doors being slammed. So make sure those are in good order. Now you don't have to do anything else with that. Just remove those screws. Next you want to get into here, take the one off behind the handle. That one comes off. And then double check all the way around here. On the bottom, you're gonna have this little hole right here, which I think that's actually just broken plastic. Or not. There might be a screw in there. I know on the fronts it's got a screw right there. Sometimes when they don't go back together just right, people will put self-tappers in here. That's why I say check the bottom here. Check all the way around and you're good. So next you want to grab your clip tools and get in here on the back side of the panel. You can see someone had already gotten into the one that's back here, and these clips are very fragile and they always break. It's actually missing right there. Cool. So just be careful when pulling them out. Missing down there too. You can see there was a screw that was supposed to be in there. Let's get one in here. See if I can just pry it up just enough. You can see the white clip right in there. So you want to take that clip tool, get that wedged in there, and pop it off. Be careful not to scratch your paint. As you can see, someone's already done. You can always take a towel too and put it on there, but I'm lazy, I'm not going to. Go around the panel, pop all these around, see where they're at. Don't force them off. They will come off, just pop them out. I'm gonna go ahead and pop those off, and when I get them broken loose, I'll be back with you. So here's kind of a general idea. I just kind of easily come up and search for where the clip is and give it a little tug to pop it off. And you will break some off. Don't worry, it happens. Nothing that can't be fixed. So when you got them all broken loose and the thing's flopping like that animal, we're gonna go ahead and take the panel, we're gonna lift it up, remove it from the window track up here, and we got to remember to be careful because we're gonna have to unplug our switch here, which we might pop that off. I'm gonna get this up and look, and then let's see where we're at. So you grab it, lift it up, just get it out of the track here. Sometimes those clips are a little fun to get in and out, but just be careful. And then this has got to get fished out kind of simultaneously. I'm This might actually, if I remember right, pop right out. Yeah. How about that? Take that out too. That'll make it a little easier on you. So let me get my two hands in here and free this up. So now that I'm remembering, they had to probably pull this panel off when they tinted the windows, and that's why things are the way they are. But anyway, back down to this clip down here. It's just a little simple clippy doodad, and you just unplug it. If you can unplug it, unplug it. Come on. Well, when you can, you push that down. I had to use a clip tool and push it down, pop it out. There you go. Panel is off. Nothing to it. There's one clip. There's where the screw goes. There's another clip, another clip, another clip. Oftentimes what happens, people pull these out too hard. This piece of plastic on the back side will break because it gets brittle. So just be gentile. And I actually noticed this piece up here clips into where that hole is right there, and it broke and fell into the bottom. So yay neat. Not a huge thing, just more of an annoyance, I guess, than anything. So anyway, moving on. So there's the big clips where your handle holds on to. You have these little ones here. Make sure that these clips do not come off because you do not want them to fall off. Go ahead and just pull back plastic. This stuff right here, this weather stripping tackiness, it's called Butyl. It's a company name, and it's really, really, really good in the automotive industry, like auto body. It's relatively cheap. You can find it on Amazon. You can see they use it on this. I'm going to use it in an upcoming video to do some sealing of the water leak that I got in the trunk going on here, but I'll get more onto that. Okay, so let's get into these clips. So you can see right down there, that clip is broken off of that track, and it's a slide clip. So it slides in that track, and that is actually broke. Now, I've seen people say that you have to pull these rivets off, and it kind of looks like somebody already did this at one point in time. If I remember correctly, I don't pull these off because I don't like pulling them off. It's simply just 4 rivets. It's not hard. You gain better access in there, but I don't really think you need to be honest. I'm going to try it without, because I think how I can get it is through here. So let me just go roll the window up, because you got to get the window rolled up to right to this spot. And I'm going to check out the other side here and see if that one's broken or not as well. So you will have to grab the switch off the door panel and plug it back in, or just jumper it with a piece of wire to get it to come up. But shark fin engaged. So there's it rolled up, and then people grab the window and they just kind of get it back up into place where it needs to be. Yeah. This side, I can't really see much. That side looks fine. So that side's usually the side that works all right. So we'll just have to worry about this one side. So let me see if I can get in here and get this window adjusted just how I need it. Be back. Okay, so more evidence that this has been, of course, drilled out, other than obviously the marks all over this thing. You can see right here on the track, the end of it is marred up, and it's bent. And that's because somebody's already been in here to put slides in it. Those are bent closed to prevent it from sliding out. The other thing is you got that rivet there that holds the window on, and it also holds this slide from coming out. So what does need to happen is you need to get in here, drill that rivet out, bend those tabs out if they're not already bent out, and then get rid of your track, this piece, or you can leave it in there. It doesn't matter, it's not gonna hurt anything. But I'm gonna drill that one out. I'm gonna do it through this little hole. I'm not gonna remove this because why bother? And I'm gonna put one new slide in there, and then we'll show you where we're at. Okay, since mine's pretty much already been worked on, the aluminum rivet in there, basically all you gotta do is rip the head off. Just use a couple drill bits to step it up. You get it down to a certain level, and that's all you gotta do is get it enough so this here clip will slide over that there rivet. And you can see as you just work it, keep working at it, it'll eventually go. I had to step up to a little bit bigger bit. Spinning in there on me. I might have to go get my step down bit, but keep working at it, thin it out, you'll get it. I think I'm just gonna thin it out to a point where I can just get that by and then get the new one on. Well, there you go. I drilled it out to the point of it just fell out, so. And then your old one's out. Cool. Now what do, you ask? Simple. Oh, there you go. There's the original one. Culprit. Actually fished that out from the bottom along with this piece. The back piece was in the track, and I just slid that over and caught that. So yeah, it's definitely been confirmed that it's been into. But yeah, that's what happens, is these things just break, and that's what causes it. Pretty common. So why I'm hesitant to go back to this style, because there's one failure, there's two failures. I mean, this is just going to be three. And the other one's just that middle piece, kind of like a round ball, that I think is a hell of a lot better, but this is what I got, so we'll deal with it. So now if you were going to replace the other side, you wouldn't have to drill out that. You would just have to fish out the slide out of it, because you already got it off on this side. And you would fish in two of these. So you'd put one in, slide it all the way over, and then put the second one in, put it where you need to. And you just put it in there as need be, and then we're gonna go ahead and line it up with that. Take our C-clamp, get it in there, and then we're gonna press fit it in. So there's that clip in there. You do have to give it a little bit of encouragement. It does have clips on the back side of it to slide it in, but nothing can't manage. So now I'm gonna go ahead and pull this arm just a little bit out, get this in position to where that centerpiece is lined up with the ball that's on this arm. And once that's done, like that, we simply take our C-clamp and we put it in. Okay, so once that's in there, you just simply press fit it in, and then you'll know when it goes, because it'll do that. And once it's in, just back your C-clamp off. And there you go. Bye-bye shark fin. So since the odds of me getting back in here to replace this again at one point or another is going to happen, I always just take a self-tapping screw, and instead of replacing the rivet here, I just self-tapper it in. That way I can remove it easily. And I mean, you guys can do what you want there. You can put the rivet back in and drill it out again. I'm just going to do a self-tapper because I can. So once your self-tapper's in there, go ahead and grease up the track. Do down there too, just to make sure you got it all. So I greased up that lower track. Got some jammed in there. Greased up the teeth over here. Got the power on. Now I'm gonna run this thing through the paces. Roll it all the way up. Roll it all the way down. Oh yeah, I gotta make sure the plug's plugged in there. Roll it all the way down. Roll it all the way back up. Just do it a couple times. You know, make sure everything's good, not binding up. How about that? One more shark fin. Yay! Of course, putting it all back together is going to be exactly how you took it apart. If you are getting binding on there after you installed this, I would double check your weather strippings. These will get pinched, and when they get pinched in here, they will bind up the window too. Your window needs to roll smoothly inside the channel here on both sides. Otherwise, it'll bind up too. That also can lead to some of the cracking. So double check those. Make sure these ones, you can see mine's kind of folded in here too. These ones need to be seated out, and check them on your fronts too. If you got a lot of wind noise inside your car, more than likely that's probably where it's coming from, because these are notorious for making wind noise. So I'm gonna go ahead and button this up and wrap this video up. Be back with you. All right, guys. So the door panel's put back together. Unfortunately, my battery is about toast, so tested it out. It's working like it should. So I'm gonna do probably the other side. It's the same as this side. And then next video, I'll probably do the fronts. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.